We are live. What is up, y'all? Welcome to another live stream. So, it has been brought to my attention that my audio sucks and my uh, visual, I don't even know what to even call it, sucks. So, I've started doing a little bit of work on that. And what I did first off is I got me a little windscreen, and I don't know why I've never done that before. Whenever you're sitting in a fish room that's 80 degrees, you've got to have fans on and stuff. So got me a windscreen. I did a little bit of testing earlier, and I don't know that I could really tell much of a difference. So a little bit of hang on the back sound in the background. And then I also hardwired my laptop directly to my router, my internet router, and all this time, 40 live streams, I've been wireless all this time. So, I've got my settings fixed on my live stream. I've got a new light in front of me as well to kind of light up my face a little bit better. I've got a windscreen, and I've got hardwired. So, you guys tell me if it's any better tonight, and we're just going to go from there. One thing really quick, Dan's Fish is not going live after me tonight. So, if you guys share this out to enough people and we get enough people in here and we hold enough people for a while, we'll go long again tonight. So, Saturday night we went 3 hours. I don't know that I want to go 3 hours because I'm really not feeling the best in the world, but we'll definitely go long. So, if we can get enough people in here, we'll do that. So, another thing that we need to talk about real quick before I go to the chat is I also went on there, and I don't even know if it's even going to work or not because I don't know if I for sure got it turned on. But I also I signed up for Nightbot, so be on the lookout for that. I think moderators have the capabilities of being able to do that. I don't know. I've never done Nightbot before, so I'll wait until after this stream, and then if it doesn't do anything tonight, I'll get to figuring deeper into that. And let's see, what else do we need to talk about? I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, I just want you guys to engage a little bit more so that I'm not just sitting here reading the chat. You know, it's kind of hard because I've been in this fish fam for a long time, and I'm a live stream junkie, and I go to live streams all the time, and I'm in the chat. And you know, whenever I'm doing my own live stream here, I have to have some questions and some thought out stuff to talk about so that it's not just me reading, you know, the chat only, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I seen somebody said that it sounds better maybe. How's the buffering and all that kind of stuff going? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the chat here. I know Dougie from Bald and Dangerous was first to the chat as always, so welcome Dougie. Oh man, you guys were in here for a long time. So Dougie from Bald and Dangerous was first, and then I think Charlie was second. Actually, before Charlie, John Betker was here. What is up, John? And then Daryl Deemer. What is up, Daryl? Charlie was then. Oh, I remember Charlie was making ribs for supper tonight. So that is what was going on there. Ribs actually sound pretty good tonight. Let's see, who else is here? I saw someone, and I want to wait until I get to the name. Wow, you guys were here for a long time. Daryl Deemer says that he had a few Corys lay eggs back when he had a trio. Oh, I thought he was talking about now. Wow, you guys were here forever. Joan List is in the house. What is up, Joan? Welcome to the live stream. And Mary RNH20 is here. What is up, Mary? Bob Kaler's Fish Hobby is here. What is up, Bob? Welcome to the live stream. Real Thing for You is here. What is up, Real Thing? Mortal Slayer 82 is in the house. What is up, Mortal Slayer 82? I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go to. If I want to go to the one in Minnesota, and I want to go, or do I want to go to the Aqua Shell in Chicago? I'm only going to go to one of them. And I believe the one in Minnesota is in September. And that's the one that I would like to go to. But I can't really find a lot of information on it. So that's what I'm having troubles with right now. Because last night I was going back and forth and I can't really find a lot of information on the one in Minnesota. Strawberry Sprinkles is in the house. What is up, Strawberry Sprinkles? Let's see who else. Lisa Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Lisa? Wow, the chat was going crazy. Insight Fool 1 Fish Keeping. Hello, everybody. My first time catching Jeff live. Well, welcome to the live stream. We do this on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. Just last Saturday night we did a 3-hour live stream. I haven't watched it back over or anything, but it went pretty good. It was busy the whole time, so let's see here. Candy Overalls is here. What is up, Candy? Matthew Moore Cichlids is in the house. What is up, Matthew? G-Bear is here. Tried Copper Power Green. I don't think it works. I have never tried that one before. The Fish Loft is here. What is up? I think I missed somebody else too. Your audio and picture is great. Thanks, Lisa. That is good. Yeah, I don't know. I've went since February wireless, and I've heard you're supposed to be hardwired up, you know, and I actually hadn't had too many problems with it, actually. I had like 30 streams in a row that were really good. So, yeah, Jeffroz is a live stream junkie. Yeah, I went to 4 last night. So Susan from SLC Aquatics, then Joel from Corvus Oskin, then Lucas from LR Brett's Aquatics, and then I went to Jeremy from Sergeant Tank Pets. I was doing maintenance in the fish room here last night. I was doing water changes in here, and then this aquarium up here, since it is on the live stream, you can see it's different than what it ever has been. If you guys remember, that one's been like a crayfish tank forever, so if you really get to looking at that one's different. And that's another thing that I've got to do to this room. Up until the summer, it had never been a problem, but the way that I've got this office set up, those windows in the background going live at 7 Central, it's still light outside, so that creates a great big light leak back there. So I've either got to do one of two things. I've either got to black out those windows, get some great big curtains, or get me a great big fish tank back here. So like right on the other side of this 40-gallon breeder, maybe come across, I went the wrong way, come across with a big 200-gallon fish tank or something. I don't know. So it's all, I've got to get to work on that though. So let's see who else is coming in here. Candy says she can't stay. It's dinner time. Thanks for stopping in anyhow, Candy. Charlie says Jeffroz Joan List is my wife. I'm winning, LOL. Yep, that's what I got to do. Whenever I'm looking for a wife, I've got to find a fish keeping wife. So Mortal Slayer 82 says Minnesota fool. Yeah, if somebody here, let me make you a mod, Mortal Slayer. If you can get me a link that talks about it. It says put user on timeout. No, I don't want to do that. Share a link in here. Oh my goodness. if you can share a link on here, Mortal Slayer, I'd like to research it a little more to where I can find out, do I have anything going that weekend and all that kind of stuff. Boy, I just missed a bunch in the chat here. Real Thing for You says, I got steamed albino baby pleco. Why do people ship that don't know how to ship? Ugh. That stinks, man. Monday, I did my first real livestock shipment. So, I've been wanting to practice for a long time. And after I went out to Jeremy's, I felt like I learned some things. I do want to get different bags than what I've got. My bags are too wide, so they take up a lot of room. I don't need that wide of bags. They're great bags. I love how the bottoms are made. The bottoms are rounded and sealed to where there's no creases and different things like that, but they're just too large. So I've got to work on that. But up until Monday, the only shipment that I'd ever done was I had done some guppy grass and some snails for a trade with Priscilla MK Art. And she, in turn, after I sent her a bunch of guppy grass, I've got a video on that, by the way, but anyhow, after I sent her the guppy grass and the snails, she sent me some rainbow tiger endlers, and I think that's about it. I can't remember, but anyhow, that was the only thing that I'd ever shipped like that. So Monday, for Priscilla's birthday and for some practice, I shipped her out a trio of red bar endlers and 10 of my black Neocaridina shrimp that I've been working on, a big bag of snails, and then I also threw a couple of small little crypt Wendites. And I just got a message from her a little bit ago. Everything showed up perfectly. And she is going to do an unboxing video on it. So I'm really stoked about that. I'm with you though, Real Thing for You. It took me, okay, so I'll give you a little bit of the process. I may have started a little too early in the fasting. I think my endlers, the shrimp or the endlers I took out Friday night, but I put them all in specimen trays in fresh water with a bubble stone, like either Friday night or Saturday, and every day I changed the water, complete 100%. I don't know if I would have had to have, but I didn't use complete fresh water from the tap. I used fresh water from my summer tub outside, and the filtration out there is really mega good, and that water is just crystal clean and really good quality water. So I did 100% water changes every day, and every day that I did, there was waste at the bottom of the specimen trays. So I know that it was doing good. So then Monday, I had some, well, actually my van, I had to put it in the shop. I was supposed to be gone Monday and Tuesday, and then I was going to be able to do it Wednesday. I was going to ship Wednesday morning. Well, Monday morning, things got all switched up because my van, I had to put it in the shop. I got out on the road and it was shimmying and shaking all over the place. Well, anyhow, long story short, then I got a hold of Priscilla and told her, hey, I'm going to go ahead and ship today. And I went ahead and started the process, and it took almost 2 hours for me to get them packaged up. I took my time. I was perfect with everything that I did. You know, I bundled them up really, really good. And what else was I going to say? I put a little bit of guppy grass in each bag, double bagged them, taped them up really good, and wrapped them up really nice, and just cradled them in a really nice box that was insulated, and took them to the shipper, and it took 2 days for them to get there, and everything was perfectly fine. So I'm really stoked about that, but yeah, you just hate it whenever that happens. Of course, it just depends on where you live too, Real Thing for You. Yeah, this time of the year is really tough because it has been a hot summer too. So, Corey Boy Aquatics says, just working on the fish room light and water changes. That reminds me, Kyle's Wild World put out a video the other day. It was kind of like a little update video in his fish room, and he recommended a light that he uses that he got off of eBay. And cheap light, really high productive light, like the light is super mega bright, so really great for growing plants. $29 for 48 inch bar. If you go back and look at his most recent video, the link is in that description. Those lights, I got one, and man, the coverage on the light is awesome. It's a really good bright light. I think it's going to work really well. I put it on my 40-gallon breeder. Even though it's a little long, it's better light on those plants than I've ever had. So speaking of that, that reminded me of that. Yeah, and by the way, while you're here, Lisa, I've been digging your Instagram. If you guys don't follow Lisa on Instagram, she has got some amazing stuff. Her Instagram, the other day, she got really active on it, and I mean, really nice stuff. Valley Fish is in the house. What is up? Nice to see ya. Valley Fish is really active on Instagram as well. I'm really enjoying your Instagram. I enjoy everybody's Instagram. I hardly ever go to Facebook anymore. There's a lot of the Fish Fam on Instagram, and it's just full. Joel G, New Zealand is in the house. Jeffroz, hello. What is up, Joel? Nice to see you, buddy. Matthew Moore Cichlid says, I got stuffed crust pizza. I got pizza tonight too. Kind of battling a little bit of a cold, and this morning I thought, I'm going to barbecue tonight, yada yada yada, but by closing time I was like, I'm just ordering pizza. And you guys in the States that have Casey's General Store, they've got a new pizza called the Ultimate Pepperoni. Excuse me, it's got like 3 or 4 different types of pepperoni on it. It was really good. So that's what we had for supper tonight. Goodness gracious. Okay, I saw Science Gal Aquatics is in the house. She says would love to ship fish someday, but terrified. Same here. Like the way I looked at it was the shipping to Colorado to Priscilla cost me $14. So I paid $14 for Priscilla a birthday gift. The shrimp, these shrimp started from one shrimp that I got in a bag of shrimp over a year ago. I got one black shrimp in a bag over a year ago of fire red cherry shrimp. So I kind of just created these black shrimp from that one black shrimp. So I don't have much money in these shrimp is the way I kind of look at it. These guppies started out, or not guppies, these endlers started out from a trio of endlers that I ordered over a year ago. So I don't have any money in these, endlers. And the snails, how they reproduce. So I look at it as it cost me $14 to test my shipping, and I got brownie points because I got Priscilla a birthday gift. So that's how I look at it. It's somebody that I trust that isn't gonna, like, if something ended up dead, she's not gonna go post it all over that I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, basically, if I lost any of the stuff that I sent her, sure, you would be upset, but at the same time, I've got tons of backup, and it's not like she paid for them and it's a bad deal and all that kind of stuff. So don't really want to get into a whole lot of shipping, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to know how to do it and to craft it and get good at it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it definitely opens the door, if you can ship, to being able to unload some things, So, yeah. Matthew Moore Cichlid says, yeah, I hate ordering in the summer. I hate ordering in the heat of the summer and in the dead of the winter. Like here in Iowa, the winters are cold, and I had a couple of times last winter that really freaked me out. Like USPS starts out by saying they're going to be like, it's going to be Thursday, and Wednesday comes and it's still saying Thursday, and then all of a sudden you get a notification that says it's out for delivery. Well, there's sometimes that I'm out an hour away from home and I don't see that they're out on delivery until I'm already an hour away. So, my neighbor, she is home every day babysitting, but tends to get busy. She's got some newborns sometimes, and it's like, I've had her bring in a couple of packages for me, but yeah, the summer is just as bad as the winter. I wasn't going to say anything, but I just got my first super chat ever, guys. So about an hour before I went live, I got an email from YouTube saying that I was approved for monetization on my channel. So I turned everything on, and I just got my very first super chat from Jeremy at Sergeant Tank Pets. He says, "Congrats on the monetization." Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it, buddy. I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait and see who noticed first. The only person I told was Dank. So I told Dank, but I told him not to tell anyone. Thank you very much, Jeremy. And it looks like we've got another one from Daryl Deemer. He says, "Thanks for the $10 super chat." He says, "Didn't see the $. Oh my gosh. Lisa Aquatics with the $2, I don't know how to say that, Canadian $2. Congrats. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's one of those things where I worked really hard for it, but now that it's here, it's been like a month, I think. A month tomorrow since I hit the thing. KG Cichlids is in the house. What is up, Kevin? Welcome to the stream, buddy. If everybody shares this out and we get enough people here, I'll go long tonight, because Dank, he's working until like, I think he gets off at like 8:30, somewhere under there. 8:30 Central, so he's in Eastern. Let's see. I saw somebody else. Peter Thiel is in the house. Peter, I saw on Facebook, I believe it was, Peter got an unboxing video that he posted to Facebook today, where he got some stuff from Sergeant Tank Pets, and that was really cool. I didn't realize that Jeremy had crushed coral on his website, so that was pretty cool. But yeah. Let's see. There was somebody else that I missed up here that came. Valley Fish says, "Window looks like a great place for a fish tank rack." I know. So really, all I'm really waiting on is, this is originally my bedroom, and it's turned into a fish room. But I can't move my bed out of here and move my bedroom out of here, because I need to be on the lower level of the house. And my youngest, who's getting ready to turn 13, he's got the only other room on the lower level, and I can't get him talked into moving upstairs with his older brother. There's two big giant bedrooms up there, and I can't get it through his head that I can't really put aquariums upstairs, that I need to be on the lower level. But yeah, I could. And if I had the capabilities to be able to just turn this into a fish room, I would really think it over really good. I mean, I could probably do an auto water change system in here and everything. So it's definitely a possibility. This room's only it's 8 by 14, I believe. So it's really actually pretty long. Okay, let's see here. Charlie says, "Jeffro, I'd like to be the next shipping trial." Yeah, do you live in the States, Charlie? Lisa Aquatic says, "My saltwater shrimp is a complete jerk." LOL, yeah. You have a lot of really nice stuff, though. Let's see here. Mob Guppy says, "Thanks to Sergeant Tank Pets. Great t-shirt and crushed coral." Yes. I love his black and white t-shirts, and that's the reason why I went with black and white on mine, because I love that look, And that's another thing, guys. Even though my first Teespring, what do they call it, where they have just a few days where they're launching it for you. Even though that 3 days is up, there's an actual link in this video for the actual store if you guys want to go and order one of those shirts. Yep, Joel says Dank is selling tractors to New Yorkers. Yes, he is. Science Gal Aquatics says congratulations, thanks. Matthew Moore Cichlid says congratulations, thank you. Sergeant Tank Pet says I've been waiting. Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it, buddy. Oh, I missed this one. Mary RNH20 with the $1.99 super chat. She says woohoo, party streamer, snail, and smiley face with joy. Thanks, Mary. I really appreciate it. It's kind of weird being on this end of the spectrum because I super chat all the time. I'm known for being a super chatter. I do it all the time, and it's kind of weird to be on this side, but it's kind of exciting at the same time. New Hampshire is where Charlie is from. All right. Well, hit me up, and we'll see what we can do. Let's see. Immortal Slayer 82 says I finally made a way to use a python instead of buckets in my fish room yesterday. Awesome. I do a 350 gallon per hour Amazon pump, one of those pumps that's about this big, and then off of what's that doctor website with all the aquarium stuff on it, doctor something, but anyhow, I ordered a great big long, like 15 or 20 foot tubing to hook to it, and then I run it to a drain, and I just go around. I have to plug it in, drain down a tank so far, and then unplug it, pull it up to stop the siphoning, let the water drip out of it, and then move it on and on and on to the next tank. And what I've been doing ever since the last time I overflowed a tank is I'll go around and drain them all down to where I want them, and then I put the pump away, and then I go around and fill all the tanks one at a time. And the pump and the tubing all wraps up and fits down into a 5-gallon bucket really nice and snug. And a 5-gallon bucket kind of tucks out of the way, and it really works really good. Yeah, in a lot of my tanks I don't really have to gravel vac or anything, you know, so it really works good for me. Daryl says I went to buy the Sergeant Tank shirt but was out of my size. I gave up on a 2X Flip Aquatic shirt a long time ago. LOL. Yeah. And then there's some people like Dank, I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", so he has to get like a 3X to be able to have the right length. So he doesn't have to have a 3X because of the chest and the belly. He has to have a 3X because of length and stuff. So there's that too. But like with mine are just the 8-ounce cheap shirts. But maybe one of these days I'll add some nice ones. But the problem is even these cheap shirts are expensive, you know. So Mary says I'll get a shirt soon, Jeffro. Let's see here. We are at the bottom of the chat. So that was one thing that I wanted to talk about was, well, I didn't really want to talk about it. I wanted to wait until you guys figured it out. But yeah, my channels are monetized now, so there will be commercials at the beginning of my videos, and I'm pretty positive if you watch on a phone or a tablet or something like that, you'll just get the skippable ad at the beginning. If it becomes a problem, just you know, if there's something like cards or something that's really driving you guys crazy, let me know. I'm not really in this for the money, so as long as I've got like a skippable ad at the beginning, I'm fine with that. We'll see how it goes. Nothing worse for me to be sitting here on my computer watching a video and a bunch of ads pop up throughout the whole video, and I don't want that at all on mine. So if you guys ever see anything like that, if you're on a PC and there's those I think they call them in-video cards or something like that, if there's anything like that that bothers you guys, You know, I don't get my feelings hurt at all. Just speak up. Bum, 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 bum. Pete Berlinski is in the house. What is up, Pete? Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you. So anybody got any really good, thoughtful questions for me tonight that we can pound out? We're only 30 minutes into the live stream. I'm at the bottom of the chat. I know you guys have had a lot to do this week. Anybody got any questions? You earned it. Yeah, it has been a lot of hard work. But it's hard work that I already should have been doing. Like last year I was lazy, you know. And at the beginning of the year at first I was upset because I was like, you know, they're saying the reason why they're taking the monetization away from channels below 1,000 is to get rid of all the slough, you know. There was a lot of channels out there that had like 4 or 5 channels, and they would upload the same video on all 5 of those channels to get monetization off of all of them. And that's what they said that they were trying to do, is get rid of all that kind of stuff. And then you finally get there and it's like a month, you know, before you finally get an email from them. But it is what it is. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm little Jeffro in Iowa, you know, so it just is what it is. But Mortal Slayer 82 says, what is the hardest fish you have ever kept? Well, the hardest fish that I've ever kept is down here in this little 30-gallon tank right here. It's a swordtail tank, or swordtail fish. And if you guys haven't ever watched that video, I think it's called Disaster in the Fish Room. It actually did pretty good, the video did, but it was very terrible. And the reason why I'm saying it's the hardest fish I've ever kept is because, you know, I got that colony and there was like 70 or 80 fish in the colony. And I mean, they were beautiful. And he said he had that colony going for like 5 years. You know, they liked the cooler water. They would breed really good at lower temps. They didn't like to breed at higher temps and all that kind of stuff. But that tank crashed. I brought in a fish. Actually, I brought in some new males to the colony, and I didn't quarantine them. And I chuckled just now when I said that, but you know, I didn't practice what I preach. I did not quarantine 3 fish, and it just spread out throughout the whole tank. Well, I was able to save 3 of the fish out of the 70. And luckily it was a male and a female. I think it was a male and 2 females, so actually a trio. And now that colony, almost a year later after the crash, is just still like 20 fish. The fry stay small for a long, long time. The female looks like she's pregnant all the time, but she doesn't give birth to a lot of fry. She'll only give birth to like 2 or 3 here and there. So she's getting pregnant every month. I'm spinning back and forth like I'm on a playground here, but she's getting pregnant every month, but she's only giving birth to like 2 or 3. Now, I haven't done anything to try to change that. You know, I haven't put a bunch of guppy grass in that tank. I haven't put a bunch of crushed coral in that tank. My water is pretty soft. It might be that she, you know, the swordtails might want harder water. It might be that they want some guppy grass in there to feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. I haven't worked really, really hard at it. But I would say that fish has been the hardest for me to keep. Since I got, you know, that tank all figured out and saved these 3, I've had limited death, you know. They're doing good health-wise. They're just not really growing the colony. So there's that. Mary RNH20 says, when are you having pleco babies, Jeffro? Well, just last Wednesday, so after my live stream last Wednesday, My super red male, my biggest of the males, I noticed him fanning on a cave, and they evidently, while I was out gone to Sergeant Tank Pets, they evidently spawned while I was gone. So I went ahead and pulled the eggs, and they hatched like. Actually, I think they were already wigglers, but I went ahead and pulled them because I don't want them in this breeding for profit tank. So I went ahead and pulled them out, and I've got them in this little breeder box up here. But yeah, I've got, I would say 20 or so super reds, babies, brand new little babies. So everybody is quiet tonight in the chat. We're at the bottom of the chat already again. And then also, Mary, my youngest son, his male is fanning on some eggs right now with albinos. He's got albinos. So, yeah, we've always got babies around. And that is the biggest reason why I started this tank up here. It's like a 30. It's not really a 30 long, but it's longer than your normal footprint of 30s. So it's about the same height and the same length as a 40-gallon breeder, but it's just narrower. It's not as deep as a 40-gallon breeder. And that is what I'm going to put all of my super red babies in. I've got 3 separate clutches of different ages. They're about a month apart. So I've got some 3-month-old, some 2-month-old, somewhere around in there. And then I've got these that are like a week old. So did we lose the live stream? We have got 20 people watching. Anybody else got any good questions for me? Now that I'm asking you guys to ask me questions, everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to say. Yeah, Mary, Pleco babies are so cute. When they first become wigglers, they've still got the egg sac on them, and they're really, really cute. And they wiggle for about 3 or 4 days, and then they release from the egg sac, and then they're really, really cute. And last night when I was doing my water changes, they were really, really active. So Charlie says, Jeff, how long do you feed the micro feeds for the wigglers? Well, like, my zebra Daniels are the only ones that I've ever spawned, and I'm still feeding them. You know, they're probably a month old, and I'm still feeding them stuff like micro worms and stuff along with other food, and they're still eating it. They're gobbling it up. I don't know the true technical answer to that. When they get big enough that they can eat brine shrimp is what you're supposed to do. So brine shrimp's a little bit bigger than the micro worms and the vinegar eels and stuff like that. So you're supposed to, you know, start out with like my zebra Daniels, you're supposed to start out with infusoria, because infusoria is even smaller than micro worms and vinegar eels. And then after that, you're supposed to either go to vinegar eels or micro worms, whichever one's bigger. And I think actually the micro worms may be a little bit bigger than the vinegar eels, but I might be wrong on that too. It might be vice versa. And then after they get so big, then you can start really plumping them up with brine shrimp. So I don't know the technicality of it. It depends on their size, because like my zebra Daniels, I've got like 25 or 30. And there's some of them that are really big and plump, and there's some of them that are still kind of small. So it still kind of depends. So I'm guessing you've got to go off of their size. Joel GNZ says, what is the meaning of life? Very, very thought out question. I appreciate that. Gosh, if I'd have to say in a nutshell, probably family and friends is the meaning of life. It's the whole reason why I've never been put in jail. I don't do illegal acts and stuff like that, is my family and my friends. I don't know. Mortal Slayer 82 says, I found a second batch of Fantasy Blue Dream shrimp today. One batch about a 1/4 inch now and 1/8 inch. That's awesome. I've got a second batch of Fantasy Blue Dreams as well. And what I like about those Fantasy Blue Dreams compared to all my other shrimp, you know, even my fire red cherry shrimp, they pop out different colors all the time. Now I'm into my 10th generation on there, so eventually, even a straight line is going to start throwing some different stuff. But what I really like about my fantasy blue dreams is every one of the males look exactly the same, and every one of the females look exactly the same. And that's really awesome. That really, whenever that happens, you're like, that's why I paid the extra. Pete Berlinski says, what new tank or fish projects have you got in the works? Well, it's getting down to the nitty gritty. Probably got a good 6 weeks of summer tubbing left, because here in Iowa, it starts getting pretty chilly in September. Now, part of me says put a heater in the summer tubs and go ahead and keep them in there all September. I don't know, but I have started preparing to bring stuff in from the summer tubs. I'm not going to bring stuff in yet, but I did go ahead and put this tank up here together, and I'm going to go ahead probably tomorrow night, move all my super red fry. I've got 3 separate clutches of super reds. I'm going to put them in there to where they're in a little bit bigger of a tank to grow out, because right now I've got them in 3 separate small tanks. Like, I've got 1 clutch in a 10-gallon tank, and I got another clutch in a 10-gallon tank, and then I've got these brand new ones that are about a week old in this breeder box. I'll probably leave the ones in the breeder box in there for another 2 or 3 weeks. I like to do that because there's good water flow. I can feed them and they are getting their food. I've already started them on green beans, and they're only a week old, which I did that like 3 or 4 days ago. So like when they were only 3 days old, I fed them green beans, and they're gobbling green beans down. But so I've got that. I'm thinking about when I do bring in the summer tubs. I only had one of those tubs to begin with, and I had it in the basement. And I'm thinking about doing some rearranging in the basement, paint the walls up really good, paint the floor up really good, and bring those summer tubs in and buy me some stuff to do an auto water change. And I don't know really what I will stock them with, but I will have to heat them if I have anything in there that requires any kind of warmth, because the water temps get down into the low 60s in my basement in the winter, because I used to keep koi in one of those tubs in the basement, and I mean, it would give your arm a headache whenever you would reach down in there and do any kind of maintenance or anything. So I will probably set all my summer tubs up in my basement and work on a water change, an auto water change, put them on a continuous drip, and drain them out into the floor drain, and get some practice at that, because eventually on all my fish rooms I want to set them up to where they have auto water change type of stuff. So Mob Guppy says, on your guppies, Jeffro, one of the problems with colony breeding is that everything gets very closely related. It really should be 2 colony tanks. Switch males every 8 months or so. Great idea. That's a great idea. I do have another guppy tank here in the house, and I could very well do that. So, Adrian Castillo's in the house. What is up, Adrian? H2O Fish says, Super Chat Wednesday. Whatever. It's the first Super Chat Wednesday of its kind, but welcome to the stream, H2O Fish. Adrian, you're crazy, man. So now we've only got 13 watching. Oh my goodness. So, what is up? So tomorrow's video, I want to talk about that, since we got about 15 minutes before the 1 hour. If we don't have enough, probably just go ahead and just go an hour here. But anyhow, tomorrow's video, yeah, I'm really excited about. It's the second video from the trip that I went to Sergeant Tank Pets, and this one you guys are going to be really excited about, because It's been a while since an actual. I think Jeremy's done a couple of live stream fish room tours, you know, here and there, but this one is really good. You guys don't want to miss it. Tomorrow is the Sergeant Tank Pets fish room tour, and seriously, you really don't want to miss it. It is good. It's like 20 minutes long. Like I said earlier in a live stream, I did not film every last one of his tanks, but he dropped some knowledge in this video, guys. He really does. I learned a lot while I was out there, and I can't wait to see how you guys like it. Mob Guppy said it says 20 on my side. 20. Oh, now it says 20 here. You're right, Mob Guppy. John Bedker's in the house. I didn't get a notification when you went live. Did anyone of you get the going live notification? You know what? I didn't get the notification either. Huh. That is really weird. I didn't get the notification either. That is really weird. Now, I did make a change to the stream about 5 minutes before the stream. I turned on the super chats because about 30 minutes to an hour before I went live, I got the email from YouTube that they had approved me on my monetization. So I went into my channel and I turned on my monetization, and then I went into the live stream and I turned on my super chats, and it said saved all new info. That very well could have been because that was only like 5 minutes before I went live. Very well could have been. But anyhow, John, I'll have to text you later to figure out, because I'm still on for this weekend. I'll have to just text you later to determine which day, Saturday or Sunday, and what time works for you and everything, so that we can get that ironed out. Insight for you, yep, 20 on my side. Valleyfish says, also in Iowa, had a heater in last 2 weeks. Iowa, we're getting in 50s a few days, was thinking 1 to 2 weeks more at most outside. Yeah, I know. My tanks were getting down 70 degrees on my overnight temps. But I was thinking the same thing. But last week's stream, maybe it was even the week before, I think it was Saturday night, Pam from 54 Punchy. Now, of course, she lives in Wyoming, so it's a little different. But she said in September she puts heaters in, and you know, I'll just have to watch them. But it is getting to that time where I need to be prepared. Like, I've got a 40-gallon breeder completely ready to go for my rainbow tiger endlers, and I've got a tank ready for all my guppies and my black shrimp, and yeah, so I'm ready to bring them in at a minute's notice if I need to. Daryl Deemer says he got the notification. Mary says she didn't get the notification. That's aggravating, guys. Huh. That is aggravating. Lumpy Dog is here. What is up, Lumpy Dog? Lumpy Dog is in the house. Pleco Whisperer is here. What is up, Pleco Whisperer? What is up, Jeff? Welcome to the stream. Yep, Lumpy Dog's got a slow night tonight. Dan's Fish is not going live tonight. I seen his notification earlier. I think it even said see you in 2 weeks, so I don't know if that means that he's not going live next week as well. But yeah, let's see here. John Bedker says Iowa Fish Fam is growing. Yeah, definitely. Science Gal Aquatic says I live in Missouri and want to get a new heater for my pond. So Science Gal Aquatics, what part of Missouri? I grew up in southern Missouri, in a little town called Mountain Grove. It's an hour east of Springfield. That is where I grew up. I've lived in Iowa now for about 18 years, something like that. Mortal Slayer 82, John Badker does live in Iowa, and Mortal Slayer 82 lives in Minnesota. He used to be an Iowan. He's an Iowan, but he's just living up there. Oh. Yep, this cold has been going for about 3 days. My daughter got it from her work, and it's not too bad. Like today, I started getting a little bit of itch in my throat, um, but it's mostly just ugh. And in the morning, it's just all clogged up and yucky, 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 yucky. I haven't been sick in a long time though. Mob Guppy says, "Hey Iowa people, do you know any Minnesota jokes?" I remember one of the first times I went to Minnesota um, after I moved here to Iowa, and it was like 20 degrees cooler up there whenever we went up there, and I mean I was freezing. The wind was just cutting me in two, and this guy was laughing at me. He had like a cut off puffy jacket on, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys must be from Iowa, right?" I thought that was funny. Okay, so Science Gal Aquatic says, "I work in Springfield and live in Rolla. I've been there a few times." Awesome. I've got a buddy that owns a business in Springfield called Springfield's Perfect Tent, and on my Facebook yesterday, or maybe it was a couple of days ago, I shared a picture of this little lowrider pickup that I had when I was in my early 20s, and me and him bought some window tint from Walmart one time, and we tinted the windows on my truck. And that was the first time he ever tinted windows. And now he owns a big multi-million-dollar business in Springfield called Springfield's Perfect Tint. And he asked if he could share that on there because it was his first, time ever tinting windows. And I thought that was pretty cool. It made me kind of feel honored. So, yeah, if you ever need tinted windows, my buddy does the best in Missouri. But I love Rolla too. Rolla's a good little town. Mortal Slayer 82 says, "Because Minnesota sucks." That's funny. Kicking it old school, Jeffro. That's funny. Yeah, whenever I was down in Missouri, we didn't have any jokes for Iowa. And now that I'm in Iowa, we don't really have any jokes for Minnesota. And the reason why is because whenever I was growing up in Missouri, we were in southern Missouri. We had more jokes for Arkansas. Sorry, Peter, if you're still here. We had more jokes for Arkansas. And now that I'm here, the only thing that people from Iowa tease me about is how you say Missouri, you know. They say, "You say Missouri, don't you?" And I'm like, "No, I've never said Missouri, ever. I don't ever call it Missouri." You say it just like the movie Misery, Missouri, Missouri, Misery. Science Gal Aquatic says, "That's so cool. Small world." Yep. Mob Guppy says, "Do you know why all football fields in Iowa have artificial turf?" I would say it's probably because of how cold and hard the permafrost gets, but that's funny. "Do you know why Iowa doesn't have a pro baseball team?" Then Minnesota would want one too. That's a good one. "It keeps the cheerleaders from grazing." Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh, I was just thinking, because whenever we got our artificial turf here in town, we've got awesome baseball fields, and then we've got an awesome football stadium. I mean, we have really, all the way down to Little League. When I was growing up, it wasn't like that, but here we've got excellent facilities. It is really nice. Our town is only like 13,000 population, but here in Oskaloosa, we've got it. Football and, basketball and baseball all. Dank Tanks is in the house. What is up, Dank? I thought you'd still be working. I see a money sign, though. Yeah, Jeremy from Sergeant Tank Pets. I hadn't said anything. Comedy Hour with Jeffro. Yeah, no kidding. Jeremy from Sergeant Tank Pets let it out of the bag. And, yeah. So everybody knows now, Dank. I don't know. I didn't even look and see what the time was. But it was like 15 minutes into the stream or so. Joel G says, gotta go. See ya. Thanks for stopping in tonight, Joel. It was nice seeing ya. Dank shows up and Joel's like, gotta go. See ya. Gotta go. See ya. Later, guys. So, we are at the bottom of the chat again. I don't think we're going to make it for you to get off work, Dank. 30 days of Dank coming soon. What does that mean? You going to do 30 videos in a row? Everyday Fish Keeper is in the house saying hello, everyone. What is up, Everyday Fish Keeper? Nice to see ya. I don't think I've seen you on a live stream here. Charlie says, I need to go. Thanks, Jeff, for everything. Well, thanks for coming out tonight, Charlie. I really appreciate it. You'll have to make for sure and watch that video tomorrow morning. Pleco Whisperer says, hi, it's me, Big Ease. Yeah, I got a message from you that said something about they took Big Ease down or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Mob Guppy says, my buddy's father drove him to Iowa once to show him some pig farms. My buddy said that the pig farms smell awful. His father said, that big poop smells like money. Yep. I've got a lady that I worked for many, many years, and her husband, he's told me that same thing. He's like, that, he smell that? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that's the smell of money. Everyday Fish Keeper says, I'm usually working at this time. Well, it's nice that you're not working right now. Yeah, Mary brings up a good point. Dank, you should come see Jeffro. On the first day of Dank Mess, my true Dank came to me. That is so funny. B-Stag says, I like Dank 24/7. And then the green and the smoke. That is funny. Okay, Dougie says, Jeffro, need to go. Thanks for a great live stream. Thanks a lot for coming, Dougie. Really appreciate it. And hopefully you have a good night. Pleco Whisperer says, right, copyright down for 90 days. Dang. That's too bad, man. All right, so we got 2 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and cut it off at the hour. I think since we didn't get notifications to everybody tonight, that we just had a slow stream, and that's just the way it is. Maybe Saturday night, I didn't share it out either. You know, I usually share it out on Facebook and stuff like that, so it is what it is. Real quick, I want to thank everybody that super chatted. I don't know where to go and look for that. Okay, so Sergeant Tank Pets, thanks for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. Lisa Aquatics, thanks for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Daryl Deemer, thank you for the $10 super chat. And Mary RNH20 for the $1.99 super chat. Really appreciate it, guys. It's kind of nice to be on this side. It's a little different, you know. I don't know. I really don't know. It's kind of crazy. I didn't know that that's what they have to go to find the super chats too. I've never been on this side. Did you get the link, Jeffro? Did you send it to me on Instagram or something? Dank said something. Haha, it's gonna be Dank as at Jeffro in a couple months. That's funny. All right. So I'm pretty certain anybody that was here for the whole live stream tonight, I'm pretty certain we did not lag one time. We had good picture quality and good audio for the whole thing. Am I right? Somebody at least tell me that, because that would be really nice to know that I've got that all crisp and fixed. Science Gal Aquatics says thanks for the chat. Thanks a lot, Science Gal. I did get the link there, Mortal Slayer, and I clicked on it so I can open that up right afterwards. Thank you very much. Mary RNH2O says bye. Good night, everyone. So, anyone that is still here, we still got 23 watching. Did we have any glitches or anything like that? It was good the whole stream. Was great the whole way. Awesome. That makes me happy. So I'll be able to find out anyhow. I just wanted to hear it from you guys. Good. Beastag says correct. Good audio, video, whole time. Awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear. So we're at the hour mark. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. It might be a little bit different in the time because it's actually not scheduled. It's set as private right now. So I will put that thing public tomorrow morning, and you guys check out the Sergeant Tank Pets Fish Room Tour, and hopefully you guys enjoy it because it's a good one. Lumpy Dog says, I crossed the border 4 times this weekend and didn't get cavity searched once. Awesome, man. Well, we're going to end it right there. We'll see you guys all Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and have a great rest of the week. Peace out, y'all. Peace.